In our rapidly evolving world, success is defined by turning challenges into opportunities. With enough foresight and ingenuity, the complex problems of today can become the achievements of tomorrow. I'm Fred Thompson. From business and technology to healthcare and the environment, join me as we take a closer look inside the workings of the modern global economy. Welcome to Inside Business. I'm Fred Thompson, and I'm Inside Business. As society continues to evolve, there's a growing awareness that the world's most valuable resource may be the earth itself. Let's examine what's being done to preserve the natural world.
An oil spill can have catastrophic consequences. And while it's been over 2 decades since the Exxon Valdez incident, lessons learned from the disaster are driving the oil industry today. From the vessels that transport oil to the tanks that store it, safety is a common concern worldwide.
The world is running out of clean, fresh water. It is predicted by within another 10 years, nature cannot replenish the water supply in the world by 40%. One drop of oil will contaminate a large area. We have to protect the environment. The American Petroleum Institute and the Engineering Equipment Material Users Association out of Europe are 2 organisations that publish standards for maintaining above-ground storage tanks.
Also known as AST, above-ground storage tank safety is a key issue. History has proven that when an AST contaminates the environment, the major cause is the foundation on which it sits fails. While industry thought leaders agree that something needs to be done, there are different schools of thought as to the solution for the type of foundation that will give the AST a longer and safer life.
Well, tanks are built globally, they're used globally, but a tank is not stiff, is not sound enough to take up all the loads. It can only do so when it is built on a sound foundation. So we must give the industry a sound standard so that we know how to build, how to construct and how to operate tanks for the longer period without harming the environment and safety.
The goal of industry experts is to develop one worldwide inspection document for tanks and tank farms.
Oklahoma State University has been asked to do a global research study to look at how tank foundations perform. Different experts, tank experts, have different ideas about which are the best foundations. We want to see which ones perform and which ones don't to ensure safety.
Studies like the Petroleum Storage Tank Foundation study are expected to result in the development of more improved practices in AST construction and maintenance. They will also help determine the best methods for training personnel for the industry.
The API has a number of committees that write standards that are for building, maintaining, and repairing above-ground storage tanks. These are written by volunteers from industry, and these standards are also used by the state and federal government in a lot of instances to enforce the regulations.
The state of Florida has taken a proactive approach toward protecting the environment, as well as ensuring tank safety.
Florida gets 92% of its drinking water from the ground, and protecting that resource is important. That's why it has the most stringent rules in the country for above-ground tanks, and having good foundations keeps the fuel in the tank and out of the drinking water.
To upgrade tanks in Florida and around the world, an innovative technology that was developed in New Zealand is being used.
The Resource Management Act was enacted in 1991. We worked with regulators prior to that to determine how we would be able to achieve the goals of the legislation of no harm to the environment at all. The Watson airlift method was one that allowed us to achieve the goals of the legislation and protect our business interests.
The patented Watson airlift technology uses airbags to safely lift AST and is now accepted around the world as a method for repairing tanks and tank foundations. Alan Watson invented the technology in New Zealand in 1983. After lifting over 1,000 tanks around the world and seeing the tank foundations that fail and ones that work, he is now recognized as the tank lifting and foundation expert.
I have heard it said that if you love the work you do, you never work a day in your life. And my philosophy is, I'd like to leave the world in a better place than what it was when I arrived.